Warning, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Hello everybody and welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. I am your host, the previously mentioned Mr. Ruby, and this is Halloween month on the Derek Ruby Show. And what better way to celebrate that than with my review of Garfield's Halloween adventure. So the special starts off with Garfield in his bed, and he wakes up to this.
Hey, kids! Whoa! Get your lazy bottoms out of bed and do jumping jacks with Mickey the Clown! 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What am I doing?
After Garfield finds out it's Halloween, he celebrates with a song. Garfield uncharacteristically wakes right up happy and ready, and he goes down to the kitchen where John is carving a pumpkin and he scares him, and the jack-o'-lantern falls right on his head. It's only a matter of time before that pumpkin ends up on the dog's head. Poor Odie, he's always in these situations. After a few scare pranks between Garfield and Odie, Garfield has an idea to trick Odie into helping him with his trick-or-treating.
That's a night when dogs have to help cats go out and get candy. That's right. And if a dog does a good job, he gets a whole piece of candy of his very own. Well, you want to go, boy? Huh? Want to go out and get candy?
Of course, Odie being the dumb little brother-like figure in the story, he agrees to it. And then they go up to the attic to look for costumes. Then we get a nice little song about what Garfield should be for Halloween, but the funny thing about all this is at one point he says maybe he should be a big black Halloween cat. And for some reason that's hilarious to me, a cat wanting to be a cat. But Garfield settles on what they're going to be for Halloween, and then we see that he's a pirate. And he walks up to his wonderful owner John eating his lasagna and confiscates some of it for himself. John asks Garfield,
"Hey, what do you think you are?"
I be Orange Beard the pirate captain, and this be me first mate, Odie the stupid. You be having a mite too many peg legs there, matey.
You guys look ridiculous.
well, John gives them a couple sacks to go trick-or-treating, and Garfield does what he always does. He disrespects him by taking the last of his lasagna. Poor John. No wife, no life. You just have a cat and a dog. So sad. So he says goodbye to them, and we're off on our Halloween adventure. Then we get a nice little song and dance about how Garfield's not scared of anything. And he shows this over and over by him and Odie screaming, running around different people. Then we come to our first door as we begin the trick-or-treating, and he teaches kids a valuable lesson of how to do it.
Methinks yer be a mite stingy with your candy, miss. If you don't reconsider your contribution, I'll give your living room drapes a taste of me broadsword. Thank you. 1,000 blessings upon your home, ma'am.
Then after a nice little montage of them trick-or-treating, they seem to have had a successful night. Then Garfield spots a boat, and he realizes if he can take the boat, they can get more candy. Then he almost has a moment of clarity.
Wait a minute. Am I being too greedy? Should I share my candy with those less fortunate than me? Am I missing the spirit of Halloween? Nah. Oh, mine! Mine, I tell you! Mine!
Now that's the Garfield that we all love. So they take off in the boat, and they get caught up in the current, and Garfield gives the order.
Appears we're caught up in the current, matey. Put out the oars.
So now he's completely screwed. Then they come upon an isolated house on an island. With some stunning animation and effects for the time, Garfield says this.
Arr! And shiver me timbers, it be land ho. Nice touch.
You know, if you were to rearrange those words out of context, it could sound pretty bad.
Shiver me timbers. Oh, nice touch.
So they approach the house and they peer into the window, and Garfield decides to try to kick the door down. But that doesn't work out, so then they decide to quietly sneak in. For some reason they don't think anybody's there, but they go to the roaring fire. And if nobody was there, why would the fire be roaring? But okay. As they approach the fire, they turn around and notice this old man, and this is their reaction.
Shut up, you two!
And the old man tells them a story about pirates and buried treasure. And I have to say that between the animation of the story and the lightning effects, this looked really great. Especially when you stop and consider that this was made in 1985. The old man informs them that the pirates will be back at the stroke of midnight. So Garfield and Odie decide to leave, but the old man takes off with their boat. And then Garfield says this.
Rats! There goes my boat. Rats! There goes my candy. My boat's gone. My candy's gone. Dead pirates are coming any minute. It's past my bedtime. I want to go home.
So the clock strikes midnight and they panic and freak out. And they do what any sane person would do. They try to kick the clock to make it stop as if somehow that's going to stop time. Then they decide to hide in the cabinet. Then the ghost pirates unearth their buried treasure. And Odie sneezes and gives them away. And Odie and Garfield do what most animals would do. Just act like nobody saw them and they close the cabinet doors. This doesn't work and it leads to a big chase scene. And I have to say, the music cues are just on point with this. Just listen to this.
This is it, pal. We swim for it.
Garfield tells Odie to jump in the swim for it, but unfortunately Garfield forgot he cannot swim. So after sinking in the water and losing his hat, Odie was able to save him. Then Garfield says,
The old man was right, Odie. This was the worst night of my life. I've had nightmares that look like birthday parties compared to tonight.
Then Odie spots their boat, which has their candy and all. Then Garfield does something very out of character.
Here's your half of the candy. Yeah, I love you. Now get out of here.
The dog saves your life numerous times, and all you can come up with is I'll give him his half of the candy that he should have already gotten? Wow. Then we end with this.
Good evening, and welcome to our all-night pirate movie festival.
Boy, am I tired.
And that's Garfield's Halloween Adventure. So what do I think about it? Honestly, it's a timeless classic. The story is very well written for a kid's special. The animation was top-notch in 1985, but it holds up very well even today. They used to show this every year, and if they don't, they still should. I would put it right up there with The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. If you have young kids, I would highly recommend this. It's available on YouTube and Dailymotion, as well as many other sites on the internet. It teaches valuable growing up lessons just like a lot of the old cartoons used to. And I would definitely recommend that you watch this with your kids. So I'm going to give Garfield's Halloween Adventure 5 stars. So thank you guys for listening to the Derek Ruby Show, and I hope you're enjoying our Halloween month. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. And as always, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.
60 men all lost at sea, all of them drunk except for me. 'Twas I who had to face the storm with nothing in sight to keep me warm. Yo ho ho ho, over the raging sea we go. Yo ho ho ho, wherever the four winds blow. Hey! Shiver me timbers. Oh, nice touch.